Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be trying out a few concealer hacks. Now you guys know I love concealer hacks. I've actually incorporated 2 hacks into my routine, especially on days where I want my concealer to really last. I have a video for that. I'll link it right here just in case you've missed it. One of the hacks I took from Wayne Goss and the other one from Chloe Morello. But today we are going to be looking at TikTok concealer hacks because let me tell you, there are so many hacks on TikTok. So many. So we're going to be going over 3. I was going to include a 4th, but then by the end of it, I was like, I know what this is and I don't want to include it because I already do it on my channel all the time. You guys see me color correcting every single time. The way that I've seen it over on TikTok is with a liquid blush and you're just applying like a little bit of pink underneath the eyes before the concealer, or you're mixing it into your concealer. Essentially what you're doing there is just you're color correcting, but you may not be color correcting with the right color corrector if you're just doing the pink blush into your concealer. You're just gonna look pink. So anyway, I didn't want to incorporate that one because I knew that that one was probably not gonna work very well, but these other 3, let's give them a try. So the first concealer hack that we're going to try is from Megan Lavalley. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering that last name, but I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm going to cut out the audio on this one because it does have a song associated with it, and I don't want to get a copyright strike, so. Now in this concealer hack, she is explaining that she is only going to be applying a dot worth of concealer to the darkest part of her under eye area. And she's going to let that sit for about 2 minutes before she goes in and blends it out with a brush. On the opposite side, you're going to see her applying her concealer the way that she used to, or the way that most people do, I guess, which is to the entire part of the under eye area before going in and blending it out. And this is just for comparison's sake so that you can see what the hack actually does. And that is the end of it. So let's give it a try. Let me apply foundation first because I think that they're all applying foundation before they go in with concealer. So let me take care of that real quick. I should have already done this. All right, foundation is on. Let us begin. I am on the fence about whether or not to use a color corrector with this hack because I'm not gonna get the most out of this hack with just concealer because of the dark circles. It's just a fact, okay? It's not going to happen. So I think I am gonna use it with a corrector. I'm gonna use my Becca in Smashbox Under Eye Brightening Corrector in the shade Medium. All right, so there is the corrector. This hack should still do something because the corrector is not going to completely conceal the under eye darkness. Instead, what it does is just help to neutralize the darkness underneath the eyes so that you don't have the same level of darkness. It kind of evens it out a little bit, but without concealing everything. That's what the concealer is for. So right now, I'm a bit more neutralized underneath the eyes. Let's conceal. All right, and for this, I think I'm gonna use my Makeup Forever Bright Illuminating Under Eye Concealer. In the video, she's using the YSL, I believe it's like their all over brightening concealer or something. I don't have it, I'm not gonna purchase it. They're not cruelty free, unfortunately. But, you know, this should do the trick. I'm honestly not really sure why she chose that one for this particular hack because that concealer has very, very light coverage. So it's not going to really truly conceal. It's just meant to help like brighten up a little bit. This one, however, especially with paired with the corrector, you get really nice coverage with this particular concealer. So let's go ahead and apply it. So I'm just gonna take a round brush to try to get like just a dot on there. And of course, we're going to place it right where the deepest part of the under eye area is. Now over here on the right side, I'm just going to apply it with a brush. Right now, my gosh, I've been putting off washing my brushes for weeks, okay? Literal weeks. But I think it's time. It's definitely time. I don't really have anything to blend this out with. Let's see. I'm taking my Precision round brush. This one's the P82 from Sigma Beauty. I used to blend out my concealers with this, and then I just started using my Real Techniques ones, and you know, the rest is history. But since I don't have any clean Real Technique ones, let's use this one to apply the concealer and see if it makes a difference. So over here, she did tell us to wait 2 minutes. So we're gonna wait the 2 minutes, and while we do that, we're gonna apply it on to the right side. And this is the way that I normally would apply a concealer, or this particular concealer at least. Now with this particular concealer, I don't feel like you get, you know, really high full coverage For anyone with dark circles, of course, if you don't have dark circles, if you have a little bit of darkness underneath the eyes, this should do just fine. But it does provide a really beautiful finish. It provides you with enough coverage to where you are brightening the under eye area, but without overwhelming it. Like, it doesn't look cakey. It doesn't appear heavy. It's very, very lightweight, very natural finish. It's very hydrating overall. Personally, I love it. Okay, so over on the left side, she's using kind of like a blending brush. It looks more like an eyeshadow brush than a concealer brush. So let me try to find something similar. I think this one looks pretty similar to what she's using in the video. This one is from the Sigma Beauty and the Beauty Bird collaboration. This is the Dream Fluffy Shader Brush. All right, so of course we're just concentrating the product here. All right, and that's all the coverage that we're getting with just the tiny amount, of course. Now, personally, I would apply a little bit more, maybe layer it up or apply a tiny bit more to begin with. I do understand her hack, absolutely understand it. You want to limit the amount of concealer that you're using under the eyes. It's just going to make everything look a lot lighter, a lot more natural, a lot less creasy, or there's going to be a lot less creasing and a lot less settling the less product that you use. Of course. On her, it looks beautiful, and it absolutely works because she really has very little, if any, darkness going on underneath the eyes. Now, for someone who is like me, and we have more of the darkness concentrated like closer to the inner corner rather than like the entire area, the entire under eye area, then it does make sense to, keep the concealer to a specific spot rather than applying it to unnecessary areas. And there are some people that do have, truly have darkness from the inner corner to the outer corner, like the entire under eye area. And for that, I would not recommend this. I would not recommend this hack. It's not gonna do enough. It's not gonna do much. And you're really gonna run into just not having enough coverage, and you're just gonna end up applying more concealer. For that, of course, I would recommend a color corrector, a really good neutralizing color corrector. That's pretty much what's going to be the secret sauce to your concealer routine. Once you find a good color corrector, I feel like that you've won. Like that's what's going to make the biggest difference, because once you neutralize the under eye darkness, you can apply a little bit of concealer on top of that, and you're good to go. I mean, look over here. This is what I would normally do with this particular concealer. Whereas over here, yeah, it looks really, really nice and light, but there's hardly any coverage happening. I mean, similar, but not the same. So I personally would not use this hack. All right, next we have a video from Jamie Greenberg. She is a celebrity makeup artist. She goes by Jamie Makeup on TikTok. Of course, once again, I'm gonna have to mute it because she's using Gorilla's Feel Good ink, which copyright. So she's asking if you're dealing with cakey concealer. So now she's going to introduce us to what she does in order to avoid that. So instead of using a traditional makeup brush or your fingers, she is telling us to use an eyeshadow brush, like a blending eyeshadow brush. And that's how we should go about blending out our concealer. She's telling us to do it from the inner corner to the outer corner, just kind of like limiting the amount of concealer that we're applying onto the under eye area. And of course, she says less is more, which I completely agree with. She also tells us to use setting spray in lieu of setting powder in case you're dealing with more texture or dryness underneath the eyes. Now, I did wash my face, I did reapply foundation, so I am going to reapply a color corrector. And I'm using the same one, the same way that I used it the first time. So let me just take care of this really quickly. Personally, I like to apply my concealers with either it's actually an eyeshadow brush. It's the Deluxe Crease Brush from Real Techniques. It's really nice and soft, but super dense, and they're all dirty. Let me grab one so that you guys can see what it looks like. So this is a Deluxe Crease Brush. It's super dirty, which is why I'm not using it. And this is another concealer brush. They're both from Real Techniques. This one is the Expert Concealer Brush. And like I said, this is the Deluxe Crease Brush. This one usually comes in a set of either 2 or 3. I've even seen it in a set of 4 brushes from Real Techniques. This one you can find on its own. And of course, I also like to blend out my concealer with the Beauty Blender on occasion. I don't do it all the time, but it's just kind of like whatever's closest to me. But these are my two, or my three, I guess, if you're counting these as two, my three favorite ways of blending out the under eye area or the concealer. I really like the fact that this is super soft and super dense, but I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by her eyeshadow, like blending eyeshadow brush. So again, from Sigma Beauty, this is the Sigma Beauty and Beauty Bird collaboration brush. This is their Dream Large Blend. It reminds me a lot of like their E40. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same brush, just with different bristles, of course. For this particular technique, I'm going to use my Tarte Shape Tape, especially since we're not going to set it. We're just going to apply, we're not going to set it with a powder. We're going to set it with setting spray. This is really, really good on its own. And when used lightly, it doesn't look excessively dry and it doesn't look cakey whatsoever. I really like her approach of like less is more, because truly, especially under the eyes, less is absolutely more. So I have it on the back of my hand, grabbing a little bit of that with the brush. We're just gonna apply it here and then blend it into the middle. And then grab a little tiny bit more and apply this onto the outer corner and blend it inward. This looks amazing. Okay, it looks amazing. It looks really good. Oh my God, let me bring you guys in real close. You see that? This looks so good. Okay, so good. All right, so now let's move on to the other side. Same thing, just blending it in here. All right, so now let's go ahead and just set it with some setting spray. Let's do a fourth one. I usually just do three, but let's do four. Holy cow, this looks amazing. If you're already doing this, like, congratulations, you're light years ahead of me. I had never thought to blend the concealer out with a blending brush, an eyeshadow blending brush. It's just like barely applying any concealer, barely applying any pressure, but still blending everything out to make it look nice and airbrushed and smooth. Blown away with this one. Blown away. The last concealer hack that we're going to be trying comes from Glow with Ava. She is going to be teaching us how to get that lifted appearance with just a concealer. This one, no music, so let's go ahead and let her explain what we're going to be doing.
The 6-point concealer trick for a lifted appearance. We're going to be using the concealer in 6 points of the face. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This is what it looks like, and now I'm going to blend it out. So now this is the side with the concealer, this side without. And look at the difference. This side just looks so much more lifted. I just applied the same technique to this side, and now we are back to balance.
First of all, her skin is amazing. Okay, it is truly like beautiful, glowy, dewy, super healthy. If you go through her TikTok page, it's just like one after the other, one video after the other of just like gorgeous skin. Anyway, let's test this out. For this, I'm gonna use my NYX Bear With Me Concealer Serum. It's very, very lightweight. It's very skin-like. As you can see, I'm trying to pick different concealers that I think would work best with each and every hack that I'm trying out. And I think that this one would work really well, especially if we're gonna be using it all over the face. So let's get into it. So I'm taking my concealer brush from Sigma Beauty. This is the F75, and that is what I'm going to be using in order to apply this. This shade that I'm going in with is, where is it? Oh, this is beige. Okay, which looks like this. A lot lighter than what I would use underneath the eyes. I usually mix beige with the shade medium in order to conceal the under eye area, but since we are trying to get like that more lifted appearance, I have to go with something a little bit lighter. But for the under eye area, for the concealer portion of this, I am absolutely going to mix it because that's just going to end up looking gray underneath the eyes. So I'm only going to do one side, and I'm going to mix part of this. So I have everything mixed on the back of my hand. The one in the center is what I'm going to be using underneath the eyes. And then, of course, the lighter one I'm going to be using on the outer part of the face. So I'm taking 2 different brushes because I don't want to mix them. She goes in with number 1 right here. So 1. And then she does 2. She does 3. And then taking a little bit more from the corner of the mouth, 4, and then the last one, 5. Oh, I lied, that's not the last one. We gotta go back to the other brush. And then she applies it 6. All right, so now we just blend it out. All right, so what do we think? Do we look a little bit more lifted over here than we do over here? I think it definitely does lift the face a bit, especially if you're using like a lighter shade of concealer, because it is going to highlight and bring up those like, you know, specific areas that you place this on top of. So does it work? Absolutely. Will I be doing this? I mean, maybe. Perhaps, maybe. But of course, not underneath the eyes. Not underneath the eyes if you're looking to highlight, if you have dark circles. If you have dark circles for highlighting, I prefer, instead of a lighter concealer, I prefer either mixing in a lighter shade into my concealer shade, the one that I usually use, or I will go in with a little bit of a brightening powder on top of my concealer once everything is said and done. The one that I usually, or that I have been grabbing a ton of, is from Bare Minerals. It is their Well Rested, like under eye brightener or eye brightener. That's what I like to place on top of the concealer in order to highlight and brighten the under eye area. But this would be great for around the face, like if I'm looking to lift and highlight here, or especially here. I like it. It looks really nice and subtle, but natural. So that completes it. Those are all of the hacks that I have for you guys today. Personally, number 2 is here to stay with me, okay? That is my personal favorite out of the 3 that I tried. Even though I love my Deluxe Crease Brush and I've literally been using those for years, I'm switching. I really am. I'm gonna switch because it looks so good underneath the eyes. Very, very nice and light. Still gets a lot of coverage, and just overall, I'm blown away by how good that hack was. Make sure to let me know in the comment section down below which one of these hacks is your personal favorite and which one you will be giving a try. I recommend number 2, but let me know which one you guys are going to try and which ones you guys liked the most. So thank you all so much for watching. I truly hope that you enjoyed today's video and that you found it helpful or at least entertaining. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on future videos. I will be gathering more concealer hacks and putting them to the test. Send them over my way if you happen to find one either on Instagram or on TikTok. I am on both, and I'm trying to be a little bit more active on both. So send them my way and I will gather a few. If I have enough, I'll make another video like this and put some more hacks to the test. Anyway, as always, take care, and I will see you all in my next video. Mwah! Bye.